What's good, y'all? King of the Root back with another video, and today we're gonna call this just miscellaneous talk. Just that talk when you hit the blunt. Is the Earth flat? Why is the G spot in the boys or in the male's butt? Or why is one of his G spot? One of them. And what really sparked this was actually Jackie O's father when he was talking to the guy from the magazine who was trying to get some information from him after she died. And he went into a lot of biblical, well, I guess say alleged facts about black folk and who we really are. And this is what we have to realize. If Hollywood and pretty much the Western world, or pretty much Babylon and the whole entire world and everything we're going through, not just black folk, but all of us, if the way they run their system, this beast system, is just nothing more than them just flipping everything upside down. So if you're supposed to be straight, they want everybody to be gay. If you're supposed to be a man, you need to become a woman. If you're a woman, you need to become a man. If sodomy is bad, you need to sodomize. What makes you think that they couldn't have tricked us and we really are the Caucasians and they really are the black folk? Because I don't know if that's what he said for sure, but he pretty much, what he was saying was, he was saying that when we were coming over on the boats, during slavery, and we know there's a lot more to these slavery stories, and there's some lies, and there were some people already in certain areas, but we're not going to do that. I do believe that there were people who came from Africa as slaves, but I do believe there were people in certain areas already. But it's a big misconception, and it will probably take us to the end of our lifetimes to really get the full story and really piece it all together. But he was saying, they say when we were coming over, we were calling out Shango, and that's not what he said. But I'll talk about the people I know when it comes to the craft. We were calling out Shangos and the Oshuns, and we were devil worshippers, and we didn't know Jesus, and they brought us Jesus. But he was saying, nah, we were calling out. I forgot what he said. Did he say Yah or Jah? He was saying, nah, motherfucker, we were calling out the names of gods, and we were Israelites, and we were Hebrews, and that's what we were calling out, and that's who we were praying to. And I didn't used to think that like Wicca and stuff was more powerful, but whenever I would see the white folk do it, it almost, besides when you really see some voodoo, like voodoo ceremonies and like Haitian ceremonies, and you actually see like real ceremonies, like they do be looking like they like kind of belong there when you see like the Satanism, or you see like Wicca, or like the charm. Like, why is there much more creative when they show it to us on TV, and ours is always dark? And we know part of that's because they want to put our stuff down and act like our shit ain't shit and it's just demonic. But what if they really did trick us, like I said, and we really are the Caucasians? We already know that Jesus, even if he was not black, he was not no fucking pale white man. And if he was, I don't understand how. But what if everything was a trick? What if we really didn't practice voodoo? What if we were practicing Christianity first, then they gave us voodoo, or we started practicing voodoo over here because we have hoodoo over here? And you see where I have so many questions and it may not be adding up, but just stay with me. Because I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. Because when you look at the Bible, and I know there's other people in like Israel and these third world countries and in other countries, I'm not good with geography, who are suffering like a motherfucker, like us black folk have suffered their whole entire lives. I get that. Refugees, all sorts of shit. But when you think of the Bible and you think about how God describes his people who are going to suffer and his followers and how they're going to be in so much pain, it sounds more like us. I mean, it could be the whole world and all the colors, but when you talk about a certain group, it sounds like the black folk. You know what I'm saying? And it really sounds like they tricked us, and they continue to trick us. And I know if you talk to the woke black folk now, they're going to say we're the chosens and we're the kings and queens anyway, but I'm going further than that. I think it's more to the story, and I don't think we have to go the route through the voodoo to get there. I think we were already chosen folk, and we're already mystical. We know that. We already know we're powerful motherfuckers. We already know we will fuck shit up. But I believe that we are those chosen folk. And if those people he talks about, the Moseses, who they show us as white in movies and things like that, I believe that they were our color. I don't believe they And the Noahs, I don't believe they look like what they described to us, and I believe we practice what we practice, but I believe Jesus practiced some form of it too. But I don't think it was voodoo. I think it was some form of what they would call magic or mysticism. But it wasn't even that. It was just a part of our natural energies, us being connected to all of the universe, and that's probably part of why they tried to trick us, or they made us think that we weren't supposed to practice astrology or read into the sun or the moon and things like that. And maybe we're not. I think at some point we're not, because but it's everything. Everything can be turned into bad. Like me smoking tobacco right now. I'm sure God created it, and maybe, who knows, maybe He did create it for us to smoke, but probably the additives is what kills us, or what kills us. But maybe we were only supposed to smoke 5 cigarettes a day. But what I'm trying to say is that anything can be turned into bad. God can be turned into bad. Well, I guess He really can't. But you guys know what I'm saying. People can make Him seem bad and turn Him into bad and give you a bad thought about Him. Just like Lucifer, the devil, God's favorite angel, the most beautiful, the most wonderful. He was able to be turned into bad and do horrific things on the earth, and continues to do horrific things. So anything can be bad. You get what I'm saying? But this is gonna be a part one of just like a blunt talk. That blunt talk, when you hit that blunt and you really dig deep into your mind and you start talking about those questions. Just like I always wanted to know, what was before. What was before God, before God, before God, before God, before Christianity, before this story of what we're going through, before the Bible, before any of this was written and this happened. What was before the person who created God, who created God, who created God? Who was His mother, and who was His mother and father, and who was His father and mother? He kind of describes that in Genesis and different parts of the Bible, but you guys know what I mean. What was before all that, and before all that, and before the planets were here, and before Earth was created, and before anything existed? What was it? Was it just blank? Was it just a black hole? Was it just one of those white screens like you see on the TV when the internet and the cable goes down? What was it? Was it aliens? Was there a time where demons walked the earth and they were supposed to walk the earth because they were right? All this is making sense to you guys, but I really want y'all to go back and read the Bible and reread, and I want you to take a moment from your voodoo and your hoodoo and your spells, and I want you to go back and see and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I believe we are still supposed to be practicing our candles and things like that, but I believe there's a different way, and it's still got a connection to Christianity. Why do you think that in Santeria and in hoodoo, well, hoodoo is Christian based anyway, but voodoo, the Bible is still a really big part of these religions, these spiritual paths? Even in the left-hand path, even in Satanism, they fuck with that Bible and use all sorts of codes and numbers and divinities. Why is it that I can do a horrible spell and fuck my enemies up, but still have that Bible right in the middle of the altar while I'm doing it, and it doesn't set things ablaze, or the whole spell is not shut down? How is it that I'm able? That God says one thing, but I'm able to incorporate that Bible still into this spell work? There's a connection there. Everything is connected, but there's a lot of lies, and we need to get to the bottom of them. And time is time. We don't have much time, you guys. And I don't mean we're gonna die today or tomorrow, or even in this moment. We don't know. It could be another 100 million years we have, but we do not have the time to keep playing the black folk. You need to get your shit together, and I need y'all to stop selling your black folk out for a fucking Happy Meal. You motherfuckers are going. I know what God says about people resting until He comes back, and we'll lay in wait before we go to heaven and different things like that. But I think some of you motherfuckers are going to judgment before you think. And I think a lot of you motherfuckers, because you believe in karma and things like that, I think a lot of you guys think that you're going to reincarnate. And I think reincarnation is for special people, or people who really need to come down here and do it. And I'm not talking about like a Martin Luther King or a Whitney Houston. I believe, like I just said, it's for, there are certain souls that will come back, and God picks and chooses. And I think a lot of us think, because we talk about past lives and things like that, like, oh, we'll get another chance. But a lot of witches and seers, what was it, maybe a decade ago, came back and said, with these ending times, that if there was reincarnation, that's done now. Like, this is the last lifetime for everybody. So be wise. Be very wise. And know what you're doing. And if you're gonna be a Christian, be a Christian. If you're gonna practice witchcraft, practice it. If you're gonna turn on one of your brothers and sisters as a black person, stand in it. But don't be a fake motherfucker. I would prefer you not to. Because white folk, they do what the fuck they do to each other, but they have each other's back when it counts. And I can't tell you how many black folks sold me out. We may not have the curse of Ham or whatever they call it in the Bible, but we've got some type of curse on us. And that shit's eating our ass up. And I love the fact that you guys keep saying, in due time, where everything's going to change and we're going to take back our power. We're not taking back shit. They're slowly still, they have taken pretty much all our power. We don't have any power anymore. Yeah, we still have our voodoo and spells and things like that. Yeah, we get that, but y'all gave that out too. You sold that shit out to the white folk. If a white motherfucker walks into a Santeria priest right now, a Babalao, or a Tata right now with $100,000, $100 million, and says, I want the full book or whatever, all the spells, you're going to give it to him. Most of y'all. And a lot of you black motherfuckers will whip or chastise or correct one of your black folk in front of the white folk when you don't got to do it that way. You stand with him in public and you whip his ass behind the scenes and say you were wrong, but I'm going to always stand with you in front of people. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Win, draw, or lose. Right now, as black folk, there's nothing to be proud about. At all. Stop it. I'm included. But one thing I don't do is I don't sell out my own black people. And I would never. And you artificial, intelligent motherfuckers who work for the government, you spies, you serpents, you motherfuckers with chips all up in you. They're stealing adrenochrome from some of us and harassing us. I don't give a fuck who the real God is. You will be dealt with. Everybody will be dealt with it in some way, shape, or form. Believe that. Me too. Whether it's the concept of what Jesus Christ says in the Bible says and Christianity says, or what Buddha says in karma, or it's the threefold rule of the Wiccans. Whatever it may be, it's going to come back and get your ass. This was just something random I had in my mind. But like I said, maybe somebody else can tell me more. Maybe you can really point me and show me where we tricked. When they say Caucasian in the Bible, are we the Caucasians? Because them are just words. And first of all, we're not black. Ain't nobody. Well, there are people who really are black, the color black. But you know what the fuck I mean. But you never really probably met nobody white or black. King of the Root.